Hi guys, welcome to the Resonator. I'm going to do some coasters today. I've bought these moulds which are kind of like Ripple or Pebbles, I'm not quite sure, but I really like the effect of them. I've never tried them before, so I thought that I'd go with an aquary swimming pooly type blue to go in them, just to see if it looks like water ripples when it's done. I measured them with water and they're 50 mils each, so I've made up 200 mils of resin. The resin that I'm using is epoxy, which is what I've used for the last couple of projects. So it seems quite nice and not too bubbly, so I'm going to move that out of the way just for a minute because I want to show you what I do to prepare my moulds. So I've already given them a wipe out with a baby wipe and let them dry naturally, but if I can find what I've done with it, I've got some sellotape somewhere, there it is. I can see there's some little bits in them, so I'm just gonna get a bit of packing tape and use it to pull out any bits that I can see in there. I can see one there that really doesn't want to come out. Is that on the bottom? No, it's not on the bottom. That doesn't want to come out, so let's just hope that that doesn't come out in my resin. So yeah, if you see any bits that are in there, you know, the odd stray bit of glitter or whatever from previous projects, because we all know that glitter gets everywhere, just use a bit of sticky tape to pull it out. There we go. So I'm going to spray my moulds with the usual silicone release spray. Let's move that, and just move these over to one side just for a minute. Pop some gloves on. I didn't want to wear gloves with the sellotape because I knew I would just get into a ridiculous mess with it and probably stick myself to things, and so just popping my gloves on, and then we're going to pop some colour into this resin. Okay, so while I've been doing that, that's given any bubbles chance to come to the surface, and I'm just going to catch them with my long net lighter. But we are going to be stirring it again, so I'll probably end up introducing more. So the colours I'm going for are in the Let's Resin Alcohol Ink range, cerulean and blue, and I'm just going to start with a couple of drops of each. Let's do 3 cerulean, and I'm going to mix that in. Now with transparent colours, the deeper it is, the darker it looks. So just bear that in mind, that it may look paler when it's poured into your moulds because it'll be shallower, and what looks quite dark in your mixing cup probably won't be dark once it's poured. So I'm going to go in with some more. So really this is going to need to look pretty dark because these moulds are very shallow. I'm just going to mix it in until it's not streaky. While I'm doing the boring job of mixing, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, boot the like button, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. All the links to everything that I use are in the video description. And that's everything down to what particular resin I'm using for that that day's project, even down to these mixing sticks and the moulds and silicone spray. Everything that I use is in that description. There's also links there to buy me a coffee. Thank you to everyone that has already bought me a coffee. It helps me keep the channel going. It really does, because you know, we all know resin's expensive. I'm going to go in with a bit of blue now. You know, resin's quite expensive. So yeah, it's all very gratefully received, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. There's also links to my Etsy shop in there as well. Not everything that I make on here finds its way up there, onto there. My email address is also in the channel description somewhere. So if there's anything that you feel like you want me to make and put on the Etsy shop for you, just give me a shout. Drop me an email and we can have a chat. So there we go. I still think that this is going to be too light once it's in that mould. So I'm going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep going till it's not streaky. Might take a little while, but believe me, you don't want streaks in your project, unless you actually want streaks in your project. But for this particular one, I don't. And you can also tell if it's streaky or not by just lifting your stirrer out, and you can see whether the streaks of colour on it or whether it's even. You can also test how thick. I don't know whether you can see there was a big streak on that then. Okay, one more round of colour and then I think we're just going to go for it. And I think it's going to take me a little while to mix this in properly, so I'll do it off camera and I'll pop back when it's time to pour. So this resin's ready to pour now. I've done my best to get any streaks out and make sure it's all mixed in properly. So let's go for it. Going to pour nice and slowly. And let it all flow from the middle. I'm going to let that flow into the corners while I do the next one. And so on. Just want to see what these come out like, because then I can decide what to do with them next time. You know, whether these would be any good for making beach coasters, perhaps. Okay, now we can just top these up. You wouldn't believe, well, you would believe the difference that having this leveling board is now making for projects like this that I need to be like extremely flat. Such a difference. you know, they are fairly expensive. I mean, you can get cheaper ones than this Tea Expert one that I've got. But I wanted a reputable brand because I wanted it to last, because I'm going to be, you know, I do use it quite a lot. But the difference between having one and not having one is just incredible. And it looks like that I've done the perfect amount of resin. Wow, that's 2 projects in a row where I haven't made too much or not enough resin. There we go. So I'm just looking to see if there's any bubbles that I need to sort of work out with a cocktail stick. Obviously be careful you don't scratch your mould. In fact, I probably won't use a cocktail stick because I have now replaced my favourite silicone brush. I'm going to be more careful with it this time though. And if I can see any bubbles on the bottom, I'm just going to ease them to the top, and then hopefully I can pop them. You know, the edge of this is quite scalloped, and that's where bubbles like to hide, in edges like that. So I've just have a really good check, because in this kind of project any bubbles would stick out like a sore thumb and probably ruin it. So there we go. And obviously I'm not going to flame this one, but I am going to, if I can find it, no, that's my water, give it a little spritz with 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. Just one little spritz on each one, if anything, and then anything that comes to anything that's on the top will burst. And I can't see any bubbles, but once I've turned the camera off and I can get my head in there, I'm going to have a really good look to see if there's any on this edge, and then I will see you back for the demold. These are cured now, and I'm really excited to see what they look like on the other side. So let's just dive in and do it. I'm pleased with the colour. Oh wow. Oh, they're really cool. Oh, I absolutely love these. There's so much I could do with these actually. Oh wow. They are really cool. They're really pretty. Really shiny on the surface. And I don't think I've got any bubbles in it. Let's hope the other ones come out as well. They come out of the mould nice and easy. Again, I doubt if the camera does them much justice, but these are really stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll probably do a load of these in different colours and put them on the Etsy shop after they've cured for a month, and then I'll pop them up. Oh, I'm so happy with those. Absolutely lovely. So there we go. I'm really pleased with the colour as well, considering it was really a bit of dollop it in and see. So that was a mix of cerulean and blue from the Let's Resin alcohol ink range. They are just wicked. Absolutely love them. Okay, if you like what I'm doing, drop me a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. See you later guys. Bye.